Welcome to the tale of the Thawing Truth, a captivating fantasy journey of courage and redemption. Follow the brave Elara as she embarks on a quest to free the frozen kingdom of Eldoria from the icy grasp of the tyrant white dragon, Aldeon. Discover hidden secrets, unexpected alliances, and ancient legacies as this story unfolds. Perfect to accompany you during your daily activities, let this enchanting world transport you to a realm where warmth and hope defy the chill of ages. Sit back, relax, and let your imagination soar as you delve into this spellbinding adventure. Part: The Frozen Kingdom. Once upon a time, in the frigid reaches of the northern realms, lay the kingdom of Eldoria, a land once vibrant with emerald forests and bountiful harvests. Now it lay encased in a perpetual winter, a world entombed in ice and silence. This was the kingdom ruled by Aldeon, the tyrant white dragon whose fury blanketed the land in endless snowstorms. The villagers of Eldoria lived in fear, their lives dictated by the whims of this great beast, who dwelled atop Mount Aetherus, a solitary peak piercing the heavens with its icy crown. With every passing season, Aldeon grew more tyrannical. His presence was felt in the relentless blizzards that swept through towns and valleys, freezing hope under layers of frost. Rumors spread of his magic, a chilling force that allowed him to control the very essence of winter. The people prayed for warmth, but no help came from the gods. Amidst this despair lived a young woman named Elara. Born during the first storm that heralded Aldeon's rule, she was said to carry a spark of warmth in her heart, a legacy from the time before the ice. Her family, like so many others, struggled beneath the freezing tyranny, eking out a meager existence with the scant shelter and food available. But Elara possessed something else that set her apart, a curiosity unquenched by fear. For years, her nights were spent listening to the stories of traveling merchants. They spoke of how the land could be freed, of whispers about a lost artifact hidden deep within Eldoria's boundaries, an object said to be born of fire and capable of breaking the winter's curse. Driven by these tales, Elara set out on a quiet winter's morning, the frost crackling beneath her boots. Armed with nothing but her determination and a small flame amulet passed down from her ancestors, she ventured into the unknown with a burning desire to learn the truth behind the whispers. As she journeyed, Elara encountered fellow denizens of the frozen kingdom, hardy souls who had found ways to survive, if not thrive, in the cold. Through their stories and wisdom, she pieced together a map of potential leads, each step bringing her closer to uncovering the secrets that lay beneath the snow. Little did she know that her path would cross with others whose fates were intertwined with the dragons. Together, they would unveil not only the truth of the dragon's reign, but also hidden aspects of their own destinies, hidden beneath the snow and ice, waiting to be discovered. There was a darkness in Aldeon's heart, and Elara was garnering the strength she needed to stand against it. Yet the greatest revelation awaited her, one that would thaw the truth hidden for far too long. Part: Whispers in the Storm. Elara's journey led her through the treacherous expanses of Eldoria, traversing frozen rivers and vast plains blanketed in unyielding snow. Each step forward was a battle against the piercing cold, but her heart remained steadfast. As the wind howled, it seemed to whisper secrets from the past, guiding her closer to the long-lost artifact that held the promise of salvation. On her trek, Elara encountered a small band of resistance fighters, remnants of Eldoria's once proud army. Led by Captain Thorn, a seasoned warrior who bore the scars of countless battles against Aldeon's minions, they had taken to hiding in the shadowy forests, biding their time for a moment to strike. Thorn's eyes held an indomitable spirit, a flicker of the kingdom's old glory. He welcomed Elara with a mixture of curiosity and skepticism. Her tale of a flame-wrought amulet piqued his interest, and in it he saw a flicker of hope that had long evaded his grasp. The resistance had heard rumors of the artifact too, a fragment of warmth from the Age of Ember when humankind first mastered fire. They believed it was the key to unraveling Aldeon's icy magic. The group agreed to join forces, their combined knowledge creating a clearer picture of the artifact's location. It was said to be hidden deep within the Frostspire caverns, a labyrinthine maze of ice and darkness at the heart of Eldoria. However, the path was perilous, patrolled by Aldeon's spawn and magical traps designed to keep intruders at bay. As they prepared to depart for the caverns, Elara found herself drawn to one of Thorn's soldiers, a man named Kale. Quiet and reserved, Kale seemed unfazed by the biting cold. There was something about him, a silent warmth that contrasted the chill of their surroundings. In their moments alone, he shared ancient stories of dragons, tales passed down through his family. One night, as a fierce blizzard raged outside their encampment, Kale revealed a startling truth. He had once been a servant to Aldeon, bound by an ancient pact forged during a time of desperation. It was a searing betrayal that bound him to the dragon through magic. Yet he had managed to escape, taking with him knowledge of Aldeon's lair and the dragon's wherewithal, knowledge that could tip the scales in favor of the resistance. His past hung heavily between them, but Elara sensed no malice in him. Instead, she saw a chance for redemption and found herself understanding that their fates were more entwined than she first believed. Elara's resolve hardened. Through the storm, they would uncover the truth, even if it meant confronting the dragon and unlocking the secrets buried alongside their darkest fears. With the storm abating, the band of unlikely allies set forth towards the Frostspire caverns, driven not just by a desire for freedom, but also by the deeper whispers that spoke of a truth more profound and startling than any of them had dared imagine. Part: The March of Ice. The frostbitten air was heavy as Elara and her newfound companions approached the gaping maw of the Frostspire caverns. A chill crept into their bones, more biting than the winds that had accompanied them on their journey. With Cal leading the way, they delved into the depths, their torches casting flickering shadows on walls of pure, unyielding ice that glistened like the scales of the dragon they opposed. Within the labyrinth, echoes of ancient times had settled like a fine mist. The silence was broken only by the soft crunch of snow beneath their feet and the mournful howls of the wind dancing through distant passageways. Symbols carved countless generations ago lingered on the walls, ghostly in the flickering light. It was said that these were the marks of the first settlement in Eldoria, before Aldeon's terrible reign began. As they moved deeper, the trials they faced grew ever more daunting. Magical wards forged of ice rose to meet them, guardians of the secrets hidden within. Each challenge tested their resolve and cohesion. Kale, with his knowledge of Aldeon's magic, used his insight to dismantle traps and guide them safely through the darkness. Elara's amulet, glowing faintly, seemed to hum with increasing intensity, leading them toward their ultimate goal. Yet the caverns held more than just traps, for Aldeon's minions patrolled the icy corridors. Sculpted from frost and shadow, these creatures defended the secrets of their master with unwavering vigilance. Armed with valor in the fires of rebellion, the resistance fought back, holding firm against each wave. Elara felt an ember of warmth within her, resonating with whispers from her ancestors, echoing a promise of resilience. Deeper still, they found something unexpected. Within the heart of the cavern, an ancient city lay frozen in time beneath layers of ice. Its spires were draped in frost, yet within its streets were remnants of life before the dragon's rule. Elara's pulse quickened at the sight. This relic of the past was not only a testament to a time before tyranny, but perhaps the secret to understanding it. Here, she believed, was knowledge that would unlock the layers of winter Aldeon had imposed upon her world. Amidst these ancient ruins, they uncovered texts and artifacts that spoke of a pact, a binding contract with elemental forces, one that had granted Aldeon his dominion over ice and snow. It was here they learned of Aldeon's connection to the kingdom, a bond woven through bloodlines long forgotten and overshadowed by frost and fear. All the while, Elara's bond with Kale deepened. She came to trust his insight, and he in turn found solace in her unyielding hope. Together, they deciphered the mysteries of the past, piecing together the story of how Eldoria was imprisoned by Aldeon's fierce magic. It became clear that the path to freedom lay within their understanding of these ancient truths. Driven by a growing sense of purpose and the lingering warmth of trust and friendship, Elara and her companions prepared to make their ascent toward the mountain peak, where Aldeon watched over his frozen kingdom. Ready to confront the dragon with the truth they had uncovered. Yet unknown to them, the greatest revelation of their journey awaited, one that would change the fate of Eldoria forever. Part: Secrets Beneath the Snow. The ascent to Mount Aetheris was fraught with peril. Each step taken by Elara and her companions was a defiance against the icy oppression that had long shrouded the land. As they climbed higher, the air grew thin and bitterly cold, but nothing could quell the warmth of determination igniting in each of their hearts. The path snaked through jagged crags and narrow ledges where the wind howled with the fury of 1,000 storms. Yet, with the knowledge acquired in the Frostspire caverns, they moved with a certainty born of purpose. They had learned of Aldion's ancestral ties to Eldoria, and the pact forged long ago, a pact that demanded sacrifice and was rooted in the deepest traditions of the Dragonkin. Barely a day's journey from Aldion's lair, the group made camp on a small plateau sheltered by overhanging cliffs. The crackling of their meager fire was a comforting sound against the relentless howl of the mountain winds. It was here that Kale, haunted by his past, shared the last of his secrets with Elara and the group. "I was bound to Aldion by destiny," he confessed softly, staring into the flickering flames, not only as a servant but as a witness to the truth sealed within the ice. His voice was a whisper, laden with the weight of knowledge known only to a few. "Aldion is not just a tyrant. He is a guardian serving an ancient ritual passed down through generations, a burden that has broken the dragon's spirit." Elara listened, entranced yet unsettled. She grasped Kale's hand, feeling the warmth of his palm against her chilled skin. "What is this ritual?" she asked, her voice steady despite the turmoil brewing inside. "It is the rite of remembrance," Kale explained. "A way for Eldoria to be kept safe from forces yearning to seize its power. The land was promised to the White Dragon, a duty veiled in tradition, but fear of betrayal twisted this noble purpose into tyranny." The realization struck Elara like an avalanche. Aldion was not simply a tyrant born of greed and power, but a guardian lost to time, bitterness, and isolation. His shackles were those of duty and solitude, and Eldoria's suffering was a cruel echo of a pact corrupted by misunderstanding. As they spoke into the chill of the night, something shifted in their resolve. The burden of their quest took on new dimensions. They no longer sought to simply overthrow Aldion, but to release him from the ancient chains binding him to a fate he no longer wished to fulfill. To free Eldoria, they needed to bring an end to the rite of remembrance and offer redemption to the dragon who had known nothing but ages of icy solitude. With fresh determination and an understanding of the secret now unearthed beneath the snows of Eldoria, Elara and her companions made their final preparations. The dawn of a new chapter awaited them at the peak, where the truth would finally surface from beneath the ice. They had come to liberate their kingdom, but first, they would seek to thaw the heart of their greatest foe. What awaited them at the summit would mark a new beginning, or perhaps an end none of them had foreseen. The heart of the Tyrant. The summit of Mount Aetheris was a desolate realm where ancient snowflakes fluttered down like ghostly memories from a forgotten past. Each gust of wind carried with it a chill that seemed to bite deeper than mere flesh, seeping into the soul with its whispering secrets. Here, at the pinnacle of the world, lay Aldion's lair, a cavern wrought from ice and rock that shimmered under the twilight's fading light. Elara, Kale, Captain Thorn, and their loyal band approached the entrance, steeled for the confrontation they had long anticipated. With each step, they carried the whispers of the lost city, the echoes of history, and the hope for a future unchained from winter's grasp. The knowledge they bore was both a gift and a burden, a blade honed to pierce the veil of cold truths. Inside, the cavern unfolded into a vast chamber, its walls adorned with frost-forged runes that hissed with an ancient power. At its center coiled the massive form of Aldion, his scales glistening like diamond-studded armor. He lay ensconced within his icy dominion, eyes closed, breathing slowly with the deliberate grace of a creature long accustomed to solitude. With a deep, tremorous breath, Aldion stirred, his eyes opening with a glacial fury that commanded dread and reverence. Who dares disturb the keeper of the winter's embrace? His voice, resonant and filled with a wealth of ancient sorrow, echoed through the chamber, threatening to collapse the courage of those who stood before him. It was Elara who stepped forward, her amulet glow with warmth as she held it aloft like a beacon. Her voice carried forth, unwavering and bold. Aldean, guardian of Eldoria, we seek not to chain you, but to free us all. We know of the right of remembrance, the pact you keep, and the burden it binds you with. Kale moved to her side, his presence a testament of past transgressions and newfound intent. I was a part of your world, Aldeona pawn to fate. But the time has come for change, for understanding, for release. Aldeon regarded them, his gaze piercing and merciless. Yet somewhere within, under layers of ice and duty, lay the battered heart of a creature once noble. The truths spoken struck at his soul, echoing through the cavern as the realization that had evaded him for so long began to surface. The dragon spoke again, his voice quieter, more contemplative. I became bound by duty and fear, my spirit encased within the winters my magic forged. Yet, your courage unfolds before me a warmth unknown in these eons of frost. He paused, monumental in his presence, a titan on the cusp between rage and reconciliation. Elara and her companions stood resolute, their determination as tangible as the cold itself. With her amulet, Elara approached the great dragon, its blossom of warmth brushing against Aldeon's frigid heart. Within its glow lay the strength to invoke change, to shatter chains long held. As the light grew brighter, Aldeon's scales glistened with a new brilliance, the ice within his soul beginning to thaw. His breath came quicker, each exhalation a plume of swirling vapor that gave form to vulnerability and hope. "Let us end this right," he whispered, closing his eyes to embrace the warmth and the promise of liberation. Together, in the heart of the dragon's lair, past and present converged. The flames of the amulet intertwined with Aldeon's magic, bridging the gap between worlds. As the rite of remembrance crumbled from its centuries-old weight, hope surged within the freezing heart of Eldoria, a thawing truth ready to reshape its future. But the final reveal awaited, a poignant revelation that none anticipated, held within the melting embrace of trust and redemption. Part: the thawing truth. As the cavern reverberated with the power of the collapsing rite of remembrance, the atmosphere began to change. The icy winds that had echoed through the halls of Mount Aetherus softened, their biting chill replaced by a gentle warmth that caressed the walls and those standing before the great dragon. Aldeon, his once fierce and imposing form now quivering as if in the embrace of a long-lost companion, gazed at Elara with a newfound clarity. The air shimmered and crackled with the magic of transformation as the last vestiges of Aldeon's icy dominion began to fade. In that moment, a vision formed within the chamber, a memory of the past unraveled before their eyes like a tapestry unfolding. The flickering light revealed not just the history of the dragon, but the very core of Eldoria's truth, hidden for centuries beneath the layers of snow. Aldeon spoke once more, his voice resonant with both strength and vulnerability. In the heart of every storm lies a choice unknown to those who dwell within it. I was not the first, nor shall I be the last, to guard this kingdom from the shadows of time. His eyes, now softer and imbued with ancient wisdom, met Elara's. In you I see the answer that eluded me, a legacy long misunderstood. You are the descendant of those who first forged the bond with my kin. Elara felt the weight of his words, a revelation that coursed through her with the warmth of spring. She understood now why her heart had always burned with hope amidst the cold of hope passed down through generations, in defiance of the frosts that sought to suppress it. The warmth she carried was the legacy of her ancestors, the human guardians who had once stood beside Aldeon's kin to protect Eldoria. Understanding the gravity of her heritage and the trust bestowed upon her, Elara extended her hand, bridging human and dragon with a promise rekindled under new light. Aldeon, humbled and grateful, let out a deep sigh, each exhalation chipping away the remnants of his solitary reign. Together, we shall restore balance to this land and ensure that the cycles of ice and flame dance in harmony once more. The companions watched as the thawing truth unraveled before their eyes, the ice enshrouding the mountains beginning to recede, revealing a world reborn. Streams of melted snow wound their way down the slopes, breathing life back into Eldoria. Birds took to the skies, and the earth, freed from its wintry grip, blossomed with vibrant greens and abundant life. Kale, standing beside Elara, took her hand in his, their shared journey binding them closer than ever. Together they had forged a path from darkness to light and discovered the ties that bound them to the very soul of the land. It was a bond forged through trials, truths, and the promise of renewal. As the sun rose, casting golden warmth over the kingdom that had once known only the embrace of snow and shadow, the people of Eldoria emerged from their shelters. They witnessed the thawing truth spreading across their land, a testament to the courage of a few who dared to challenge fate and the cold heart of a dragon transformed by love and understanding. And thus, a new era dawned upon Eldoria, one where hope and courage burned brightly beneath the sky, banishing the icy grip of fear forever. Elara and her companions stood as champions of this truth, their legacy etched into the very fabric of the kingdom's history, a beacon to guide generations yet to come.